Frantically, I examined the radio to see what was wrong. I honestly can't tell you how many consecutive days I've used it. Had it simply outlived its usefulness and died a natural death? I spent the entire day trying to fix it, and most of that time was spent in tears. I felt like I was losing my sanity without it. I gave myself until sundown. If I can't fix the situation by then, I will end my life. I'm writing this as the sunlight is fading, and I am aware of my impending fate. I contemplated walking the hallways of my school one last time, bidding farewell to the students and teachers who would surely miss me. However, I can't bring myself to leave this room. I can't go anywhere knowing that my radio is dead here. I don't have any more tears. Now I feel like I can't catch my breath. I throw up what is in my stomach, and I feel dizzy again, reminiscent of the days after Olga died. I don't have much time left in this world, but before I end my life, I seal the door to this room and place a chair under the handle. It's the only room in the basement, and it has a small casement that lets in enough light for me to see what I'm doing. If anyone ventures to come looking for me, they won't be confronted by this gruesome sight. Perhaps they will find the door blocked, catch a whiff of my rotting body, and simply forget I exist. However, I place both the walkie-talkie and this note outside the door. Good sir, if you're reading this, I have one humble request. Please fix it. Save my radio. It didn't deserve to die in its sleep, and I am ashamed that I can't revive it. I am now prepared to join Olga and little Ludmila in heaven. I hope this school finds another janitor who will love and care for it as I do. The hour has come. Don't forget my radio. Andre. When Mom zoomed in again, tears welled up in Livia's eyes. "Thank you for sharing, Uncle Stephen," Mom said, her voice choked. "I think we have enough." "Wait!" exclaimed Livia. "He said there was more. What did you find?" No sooner had Great Uncle Stephen opened his mouth than the image disappeared. My jaw dropped. Was this it? What had Uncle Stephen seen? A sudden recollection struck me. There was a second disc. Though unlabeled, I hoped it contained the remainder of the interview. No video, just sound. Livia's voice filled the air. "Hello, Ms. Garrity. I'm sorry, Mom, but she refused to record the rest of what my uncle said. Still, I asked him to continue, and secretly recorded the story as a voice memo on my phone. Earlier this year, you mentioned that history is written by those who win wars." She took a deep breath and began to cry. "But everyone's history is important, even if they're sad, pathetic people, and even if they've never won anything in their lives. I haven't slept nights since I finished this project, but you need to hear what my uncle has to say." Tears welled up in my eyes, too. The sincerity of her words was beautiful. I also felt flattered that she remembered some corny phrase I'd dropped, because that's what my history teachers told me. Before I could get too sympathetic, the sound resumed. "Okay," came my mom's disappointed voice. "If you want to listen to the story all the way through, fine, but it's not appropriate for a school project." "Let me finish," Great Uncle Stephen snapped back. "If it's too much for you, have a snack in the kitchen. But Livia wants to know what happened." I heard her mother mutter something and walk away. Livia and her uncle were left alone. I pictured her looking at him expectantly. "So did you find the radio, or did it go bad when they blew up the school?" He hummed, and I heard the distinct click of a lighter. "That letter," he began slowly, "had a date on it." "What date?" she asked eagerly. "It was dated 2 weeks before we began to rebuild the school." "Didn't you say the school was destroyed 2 years ago?" "Yes," replied Great Uncle Stephen. "It was." There was silence, and I felt goosebumps run down my arms. The images that came to my mind were almost impossible to express, but Great Uncle Stephen had no trouble putting them into words. He'd been reflecting on it all his life. This man, this Andre, came into the crumbling schoolhouse and cleaned up the blood and debris as if it were spilled drink and dust. He smiled at the corpses in the hallway and believed they were smiling back at him because they liked his radio. He moved the corpses around to sweep the ground beneath them. The roof was half caved in, so he must have gotten soaked when it rained, but he was so oblivious, he didn't even feel a thing. I heard Livia cry quietly. I found the pantry he was talking about. It was all pickled, canned food that probably tasted like shit. Most of the stuff was moldy. "Did you see a dead body?" Yes. Suspended from the ceiling, but still surprisingly realistic. It wasn't rotting. It wasn't there years ago. Did he look peaceful? She asked, a chord of despair in her voice. I can't say. The smell was pungent, his face blue, his eyes bulging. Like this. I pictured him demonstrating. And the radio? Livia sobbed. I heard Great Uncle Stephen take a drag on his cigarette. It was there, that's right, and it was still on.